So what can I say about this one? This one took me 3 weeks to read. Patiently reading. There was a lot of text. There was a lot of character development. The art style was incredibly good. This was actually written in the 80s. This was actually on the 1986. This comic, wow, dude. I cannot explain it well because how awesome, and the length of this comic is extremely long. It took me 3 weeks to read. That doesn't mean that I have to like reread some stuff. I do other stuff, that's why. So this particular one is very unique. I like it, love it, and hate it at the same time. This is actually one of those comics that you can say, wow, no wonder it got inspiration by, for a series called, of course, by the same name, DareDevil, Born Again. So basically, I have right here, it's so you can see, it is a fat book. Now, this comic right here, it not only has a really good character development, but also for Matt Murdock itself, it is in a total arc. Also, Kingpin is awesome in this comic. Also, Foggy is really good in this comic. Who else is good in this comic besides someone that a lot of people will be hating on me, or there's a character in particular that I don't like and I dislike. She's also in the series though. Some Matt Murdock loved one named Karen Page. Here she does nothing at all. She's just there, trades, almost, our protagonist just gets exposed. But yeah, there's a lot of chapters in here in which, not just Karen Page screws up, but there's other characters that also screw up. Kingpin is essentially a good freaking villain. I wish they could put this type of Kingpin in the series. They kind of did. Of course, it's Born Again. It is inspired by this comic. This was actually written in the 80s, 1986. So I was like, okay, then let me read this. I already saw the, season 1, of course, of DareDevil Born Again. I'm not gonna say it's too Disney for me, but at the same time, we'll be like, okay, this was actually written in the 80s, and they tried to adapt it in today's modern social and moral type of problematic situation that is going on these days. It kind of worked, but in the comic it was way better. I could say that. The comic was way more of a Kingpin behind the scenes, and the other people are just trying to at least get into Kingpin's should we call it attention. Kingpin was not hidden. He was there being what he actually is. He doesn't hide because he's scared. He hides because he knows he has power. That's where I want to go. So basically, this comic right here, and it's freaking amazing. Like, even the art, you could see like the panels here, they seem more like a movie or a TV series scene. I think it was actually made for that to be adapted. But then again, I mean, like, such as the villain and our hero, Matt Murdock, they both are incredible here. They both are, and even Matt Murdock, he has his struggles. Also, Kingpin has his struggles. A lot of things get out of control on Kingpin's side, but he keeps his cool. You know, typical villain, right? That is a strong villain, even though we say that Kingpin has no powers. I mean, his strength is immense. You see Kingpin here in the gym. You see Kingpin here training. You see there's a lot to, you know, for me to just say what actually happened in this fat book, because right now I'm like looking for really cool. Even Foggy was a really good and nice character here, not just for Karen Page, but also for Matt Murdock. So yeah, I think the downside is literally Karen Page. I mean, this is a character, don't get me wrong, people, this character is just there. See here, this scene right here, like, it's not just a scene, it's literally like, this is what I like about, you know, comic panels. They look like scenes, they look like movies. And I wish we could see this, you know, today in the, you know, Born Again series. But yet again, the reason why this is a really fat book is because they have the illustration here. So we can see here, this is just like the draft. This is Kingpin fighting with, you know, and it is really freaking cool. And also, not just this, they also put the script at the end. I was not going to read this since it's literally what it actually showed us in the comic. But overall, people, if you haven't read Born Again, and if you like the series of Daredevil Born Again, I still think that the Netflix is just a tiny bit better. But Born Again is there. It's almost there. If a season 3 gets into really good action scenes that actually grab people, really good action sequences. They still have it in Born Again, but don't get me wrong, I love Born Again. It's just some of the thematics just drags it over to some other political things, typical social criticism, which is all right. But again, people, if you haven't read this, I recommend you to actually read this. Daredevil is one of my my favorite heroes in Marvel Comics. Although I need to tell you that other heroes do appear here, something that the series actually lacks. If they're in New York and Hell's Kitchen, of course, other superheroes are going to intervene at some point, right? But that's just me. All right, people, I hope you liked this review. It was hell of a... Yeah, it was a drag, people. And I hope you guys like this. And hopefully for next review, I will be reviewing something else. I'm really hoping for this other, comic is not that long. I just pick just random comics and read them and review them. That's what I do. All right, people, this has been Cyberpunky, and I'll see you guys later.